G'day folks, it's Chris Gonzo Gondek here again for another Newsworthy Minute. Today we're talking about VMware Cloud on AWS. Now, NetApp have had a strategic alliance for many years with both VMware and AWS individually, but we've made some very exciting announcements recently together. So here to help us learn more about this three-way partnership, I'm very delighted to introduce you to my special guests today. I have Alex de Gruiter, who is the staff cloud architect at VMware, and I have Sumit Kalia, who is the data management and storage specialist, Australia, New Zealand at Amazon Web Services. Welcome, Alex. Welcome, Sumit.
Thanks, Gonzo.
Hey, Gonzo.
Fantastic. So, folks, I'm going to be speaking to you both at the same time, so I'll try to, keep it manageable. Alex, I'll start with you. Tell us a bit about yourself and your role at VMware.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Gonzo. So I am a cloud solution architect. I've been with VMware for over 3 years now. I realized that I have almost like 20 plus years experience in IT, which makes me feel pretty old when I say it out loud. But I've been helping customers and partners move their services into the cloud for the best part of that time.
Fantastic. Yeah, I've got 20 plus years experience in my hair, you can see as well. Sumit, over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Amazon Web Services.
Awesome. Hey, greetings to both Chris and Alex. And to everyone listening, my name is Sumit Kalia, based in Sydney, and I'm a storage specialist here at AWS. So my background, similar to others here, worked at a variety of traditional on-prem storage vendors, but over the last 2 years, I've been helping customers on their journey to AWS Cloud, assisting them to rethink their data storage management strategies for a variety of use cases, and equally excited to be here both with NetApp and VMware here today.
Fantastic. That's excellent. All right, so let's get right into it. Alex, tell me, what's your experience so far with VMware Cloud for AWS, like uptake and activity?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're seeing a lot of uptake, especially in regulated industries. I think if you look at Australia, New Zealand in general, and sort of how early we were to adopt in this country, in this region, virtualization. I think something like 93% of workloads or something were virtualized, and that was like maybe 10 years ago. Like, we were very early adopters. And the lion's share of that was VMware based, so like ESX type hypervisor. And what we saw was, because we had so many customers who were kind of on VMware and were looking to the cloud and had such large footprints, it was kind of like a marriage made in heaven, I guess, like in a way, between VMware and AWS, and being able to bring those workloads onto certainly like the largest and leading cloud as it was in Australia. So we've seen some really good adoption, especially in the kind of like the big end of town around like regulated industries and public sector and so forth.
Fantastic. So I guess Sumit, from your perspective, or from an AWS perspective, what have you seen that's notable from a VMware Cloud on AWS uptake and activity, especially in our region?
Absolutely. So let me set the scene here before I sort of dive into your question. A reminder: VMware Cloud on AWS, or VMC in AWS as we call it, is a hybrid cloud service, right? And we launched this in 2017, so roughly 5 years ago. And that was to primarily address the deployment options for a lot of our customers that wanted to run VMware in AWS. And so with that, VMC on AWS brings a lot of the VMware enterprise class software-defined data center stack to AWS Cloud, and allows our customers to then optimize their access and deliverability of AWS services, of native AWS services. So it's also worthwhile pointing out that AWS is also VMware's preferred cloud vendor, for vSphere-based workloads. So to answer your question around what observations we're seeing, there's probably a couple that I'd like to call out. Firstly, the data center exit. We're finding that as customers are looking to exit their data center, they're looking to minimize the migration downtime. So the ability to move to cloud faster with high speed, reliable connectivity between on-prem and cloud, that's a massive advantage. And then sticking with that DC theme, That then feeds into customers wanting to simplify their disaster recovery offering or solution. And so ultimately customers are looking to reduce their costs, anything associated with that secondary physical site, but more importantly, the ability to then also recover and restore data rapidly from any sort of breach that feeds into the notion of a DR as a service. And then lastly, something that's really emerged over the last sort of 18 months, I'd say, is we're seeing a lot of our customers wanting to build their next generation of applications in the cloud. So once again, building and having the some of those core building blocks around, whether it be EC2 or S3 or RDS, some of those native AWS services, and then customers can really modernize their applications on the back of that. And that's all while having consistent infrastructure that's compatible with their on-prem vSphere environment, for example. So, Chris, it's really a theme here of removing some of that risk and complexity that we've got. It feeds into the core cloud computing consumption tenets that we have. And it's no different for vSphere-based workloads.
Yeah, fantastic. So I guess then the audience is probably wondering at this point, okay, VMware Cloud on AWS, how does NetApp fit into the picture? And I mentioned in my intro that VMware and NetApp had a relationship, an alliance for about 20 years. VMware and Amazon Web Services, we've had a alliance relationship for over 10 years. And so very recently at VM Explore, we made a very exciting announcement about the VMware and Cloud offerings by providing the ability to use our native service, that is NetApp and AWS, which is Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP, as a native storage capability, or more specifically, data store support for VMware and Cloud workloads. Gents, I'm interested in both of your collective thoughts on this, what the benefits are for our partners and customers. Alex, I'll start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And firstly, thank you for reminding me that it's called VM Explore. The last couple of days of the event, I kept on calling it VM World, like it's just habit for me. So thanks for that. First up,
went into our brains.
I know. Look, I don't want to be too dramatic and use vernacular that's too excessive, but it really is a game changer. And what I mean by that is hyperconverged infrastructure is really good as long as you happen to find the exact right customer with the exact right workloads that hit that form factor. And that's not always the case. And often what we had like these outliers, like a GIS server or a backup server or a file server that didn't quite fit in the hyperconverged infrastructure. And so like a big part of the story with VMware Cloud and AWS is you've invested in the skills, you've invested in the hypervisor, you can simply move that to the cloud. But then we had to say, well, actually, except for that one workload, and you have to modernize and change that. And it kind of dilutes the whole value proposition. Being able to have those NetApp data stores and to be able to leverage that as a first-party offering as part of VMware Cloud and AWS means that we don't have to have these awkward side conversations about individual workloads that perhaps don't fit in the hyperconverged infrastructure. So it's really exciting for us to be able to bring that to market and with a partner and a trusted solution, such as NetApp.
That's fantastic. So, Sumit, what are your thoughts on this announcement and the opportunities for our VMware customers out there, maybe already in VMware Cloud on AWS or considering VMware Cloud on AWS with this announcement around NetApp and FSxN?
Look, equally excited. It's definitely exciting times ahead, right? Let me rewind a little, right? So last year at reInvent, as we all know, we announced our newest file services offering as part of the FSx family, which was, as you rightly called out, FSx NetApp ONTAP. And for the audience, in summary, it's a fully managed shared storage built on NetApp's ONTAP file system. And so with this, for our joint customers, they inherited all the niceties of ONTAP, but with ONTAP now moved to the cloud. And that included storage efficiencies such as dedupe, compression, tiering, and so on. And so if we fast forward now to echo Alex's sentiments, with this capability, our customers can now attach a fully managed, low-cost, high-performance NFS data store built on NetApp ONTAP with VMC on AWS. And so with this, It allows them to scale their storage environment as needed without the need to purchase any additional hosts. And that's really the key here, right? So we've essentially decoupled the storage and compute dependency that was traditionally there. And what that means is, in return, it provides not only technical but also commercial advantages that our customers can take advantage of. The other point I'd also worth mentioning here is, let's not forget our friends in the data protection space. The likes of Veeam and KCity, Rubrik, Commvault, etc. They previously had challenges around the fact they couldn't mount an NFS data store to trigger some of the instant recovery and restore capabilities with VMC and FSXN. And so that challenge is also removed now with this announcement. The ability to promote a VM and recover instantly, ultimately means a better RTO for our customers. So Chris, look, no doubt this will open more doors in terms of deeper conversations, not only for our partners, but definitely for our customers. And once again, it's in line with the Amazon mantra that, innovation is really driving the conversation here. And that innovation comes from our customers. That's led us to this announcement.
That's fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for coming out and joining me on this Newsworthy Minute. Looking forward to reconnecting with you at some point to hear about what exciting customer stories we have about leveraging our kind of three-way technology. And so if you're out there considering VMware Cloud on AWS, come speak to any of us. Come and reach out to your folks at VMware, reach out to folks at AWS, reach out to us at NetApp. To learn more about how we can accelerate or even simplify your journey and your ongoing activities for VMware in Cloud. I am going to leave you all with the dad joke I made at the Partner Academy yesterday. I just have to do it because I keep getting hassled by my family for how bad the joke is. We're here with NetApp, AWS, and VMware. So if two's company, three's a cloud. Thanks very much, folks. I'll see you on the next Newsworthy Minute. Thanks again, Alex and Sumit.